welcome to our third annual Arbor Day ceremony here at DeMello. As always, this is a really special day, and we've done a lot of hard work, and I'm going to take the we, I'm taking me out of this because it's not me that's done a lot of work. It's our student council that's done a lot of work, and they have put together a wonderful presentation celebrating Arbor Day, talking about what Arbor Day means. They've put together some pretty neat illustrations. They've created poems, and they've also done some research on trees. So we're going to talk a little bit about the history. I'm going to give a little speech about Arbor Day. But Arbor Day is a really special day because it celebrates the importance of taking care of nature, taking care of our trees, taking care of, well, why trees are so important. What lives in trees? Lana, really quick, what lives in trees? Animals, birds, squirrels, raccoons, possums. There's so many animals that live in trees. What about our clean air? Where does clean air come from? Everybody, where? Trees, right? Yeah. Trees, plants, grass. It's so important that we keep our environment clean. So that's what we're celebrating today, is the importance of keeping our environment clean. So to start, we have special guests that are actually here with us today. So we have DC TV that's here today. So actually we're on TV, which is amazing. Yep. The other thing that I wanted to give a quick shout out to, friends, we're going to show everybody just what great listeners DeMello is, how great listeners we are. But I also wanted to give a quick shout out. There's a Dartmouth Tree Association, okay? And their association that looks out for Dartmouth makes sure that the trees in Dartmouth are healthy and safe and well taken care of. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Dartmouth Tree Association. We also have Mr. Kyle Berry. Mr. Kyle Berry is in the back. He's going to give a quick wave. So Mr. Kyle Berry is a representative of Eversource, and he actually, and we're going to talk about this, has a special treat for all 4th and 5th graders, and we're going to talk about that. So just to kind of give some forewarning is that I'd like to have 4th and 5th grade, when we're done, to stay. I am going to have grades 1st and 3rd to turn and look at the adult in charge and go back to their class. But 4th and 5th, I want you to stay, and there's a reason why I want you to stay. All right? So, what I'd like to do is start our presentation. And like I said, our 5th and 4th grade student council have put together so much hard work. They put together a wonderful presentation that we're going to share with you today. So, to get started, we ready? Ready? All right. Here we go. So to start, I'm going to start with an Arbor Day proclamation, which essentially what that means is it's a formal announcement by the government to dedicate this day and celebrate Arbor Day as a holiday. Okay? So here's the proclamation. Whereas established in 1872, Arbor Day encourages the planting of trees in urban and wildlife areas to protect new and manage our trees and forests, and to encourage a healthy ecosystem. All right, I'm going to turn it over.
We're here to celebrate the 152nd anniversary of Arbor Day, which literally means Tree Day. Arbor Day is usually observed on the last Friday in April in the USA, but we're celebrating a little bit later. This holiday emphasizes the planting, care, and preservation of trees and the important role of trees in protecting our planet's natural resources.
The origins of Arbor Day date back in the mid-1800s when a journalist named Julius Sterling Morton moved to Nebraska City with his wife. He bought 160 acres and planted a wide variety of trees and shrubs in what had been a flat, desolate stretch of land.
Morton also became editor of the state's first newspaper and used it to spread his knowledge and appreciation of trees and stress their importance to Nebraska. His readers were receptive and agreed that Nebraska needed to increase forestation across their state.
In 1872, Morton proposed a day that would encourage all Nebraskans to plant trees in their community, and the first Arbor Day was born that April. It was wildly successful. Morton led the charge, and about 1 million trees were planted that day by Nebraskans and many prizes awarded.
This annual tradition spread quickly and eventually became an official state holiday in Nebraska. April 22nd was initially chosen because it was Morton's birthday and usually ideal weather for tree planting. Over time, the idea of an Arbor Day celebration continued to spread to all 50 states and across the globe.
People around the world gather every year to celebrate trees and plant for a greener tomorrow, just as we're doing. Today, our 4th and 5th grade students will all be going home with a tree sapling thanks to a donation from Kyle Berry, the Eversource representative, to plant at home. With your help, we hope to see Dartmouth residents plant and nurture thousands of trees in the years ahead.
Thank you so much for that history of where Arbor Day started. Could I please have my 4th grade friends come on up? So just a quick background, everybody. Our 4th grade student council, what they've done is they've created poems talking about Arbor Day, talking about the importance of trees, and this is just a small percentage of the student council members because a lot of the other student council members actually did the illustrations. So as our friends are reading their poems, you'll be seeing me. I'm going to slide through the illustrations that go along with Arbor Day and go along with the poems. So I'll hand it over.
Trees by Grace Tavares, Addison Gatenby, and Olive Simmons. Tree, tree, you are important to me. Tree, tree, you help us breathe. Tree, tree, you are great for you and me. Leaf, leaf, the wind blows them left to right. Leaf, leaf, green and bright. Leaf, leaf, you shine in the stars tonight. Bark, bark, rough and tight, holds the trees up in the night. Every day look up and see the very tall trees. Please be nice to our trees.
A Day About Trees by Brady Holsky and Ron Tavares. April, a day we celebrate trees. Stop polluting. We recycle.
We plant. These trees help us breathe. Millions of trees are planted. This day is called Arbor Day.
Arbor Day is in April. We try to stop pollution. We plant more trees.
We stop wasting trees. We recycle plastic. We keep our earth clean.
Planted trees by Max and Alan Bobby. On Arbor Day, we plant trees that give air to you and me. By planting trees, we help the earth. There's tons of trees to preserve. Without trees, we wouldn't live. On Arbor Day, we have to give.
Trees are homes to birds that soar, so we give by planting more. Trees are cut to make wood. That is not very good. On Arbor Day, we help the trees. We'll all help, yeah, you and me.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, 4th grade student council. All right, we all set? All right, yeah, we're good. All right, why don't you guys exit? Let's have 5th grade come on up. Thank you again, nicely done. Okay, so our 5th grade student council, what they've done is they've taken a lot of their time during recess to research certain trees, some of their favorite trees actually. So you're going to hear about some of their favorite trees and what they've learned about them.
The crabapple trees are native to North America and Asia. It grows year-round. The apples that come from the crabapple are small and tart. The crabapples grow in spring and fall.
The crabapple tree has many different species. Some are the Chinese flowering crabapple, Siberian crabapple, Durango crabapple, Japanese crabapple, and the Japanese flowering crabapple. The species that are native to America are the garland, sweet crab, Oregon crabapple, prairie crabapple, and the southern crabapple.
Dogwood trees. Dogwoods are found throughout the northern hemisphere, including here in America, mostly in the southeast and Eurasia. The most attractive species can be found almost anywhere because they've been exported and carefully relocated. There are 30 to 60 different species of dogwood trees. This special flowering tree is grown by many gardeners all around the USA. The coloration of dogwoods range from pink, yellow, and white. Owning a dogwood. The most popular with gardeners are the flowering dogwoods, mostly varieties of the Cornus, Florida. As the name suggests, these are native to the eastern USA. Their range runs from the southern Maine down to north of Mexico. To ensure success with a dogwood, look for a spot that gets partial shade. They're very tolerant of light levels, but partial shade will avoid stress and give the best results. Soil type isn't critical, but they do favor slightly acidic ground that's rich in humus, and it has to be well drained. Help your tree by planting at about 2/3 depth of the root ball, then mounding the soil around it.
Perfect. I just want to stay like that. Friends, have you noticed the trees in our front yard? If you go outside for a bus, there are 2 trees that are blooming. One is pink and one is white. Those were actually the dogwood trees that we had planted last year. So they're looking beautiful.
Pawpaw Tree by Tyler and Regan. All about the pawpaw tree. The pawpaw tree can grow in Ontario, in Michigan, Wisconsin, and south into Florida, and west into Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and eastern Texas. It is cousin to the custard apple family. Native Americans and settlers commonly ate or used its fruit. The pawpaw is 12 meters tall, 40 feet. The pawpaw tree's leaves are droopy and wide. Most people in the 1900s had no interest in its fruit, but gained its interest back in the 21st century. In the springtime, the flowers appear before the leaves. The pawpaw tree is quite difficult to harvest though. The fruit can get easily bruised and must be checked daily. This is why it isn't commonly found in stores. About the fruit. The pawpaw fruit can grow up to 8 centimeters long and resembles a stubby banana. It has a somewhat tropical flavor like mangoes and bananas. Some people, after handling this fruit, get a skin reaction. The flesh of this fruit is golden and it is like a custard. When the fruit is ripe, and it will turn into a shade of black. Inside the fruit, the seed will appear to be a glossy black seed. 10 interesting facts. Here's a picture of pawpaw flowers. Pawpaws are the largest edible fruit native to the United States and Canada. Ripe pawpaws have a creamy custard-like texture and a flavor that can be described as a mix of banana, mango, passion fruit, and pineapple, with some variations depending on the cultivar. Pawpaws are a good source of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, including vitamin C, potassium, magnesium, and iron. Native Americans and early settlers relied on pawpaws as a food source, and they were also used for making ropes and other crafts. Pawpaws do not ripen well after being picked, unless they are already close to being ripe, so they are best enjoyed fresh off the tree. Bruising on the skin of a pawpaw is often a sign that it is ripe, not necessarily an indication of damage. Pawpaws have a strong, fragrant aroma which can be described as tropical and musky. Pawpaws can be used in recipes that call for bananas, papayas, or mangoes, and they are also great in jams, jellies, pies, and tarts. Pawpaws can sometimes are called poor man's banana due to their availability and flavor. Another nickname is custard apple. Pawpaws cannot self-pollinate and require cross-pollination from another genetically distant pawpaw tree.
Redbud Tree Facts by Kitty and Regan. Redbud trees are among the first to bloom in spring, often before their leaves emerge. The leaves are distinctive for their heart-shaped appearance with pointed tip. The flowers are typically pea-like and come in pink or purple shades. After flowering, they develop flat, pea-like pods containing small black seeds. Native Americans historically used redbud flowers, buds, and seeds for food.
The bark of redbuds have been used traditionally for medical purposes, such as in tea for treating whooping cough and disernity. The eastern redbud is the state tree of Oklahoma. Redbuds have a short lifespan. Redbuds can live up to 70 years. They generally short-lived, often declining from disease after about 20 years. There are generally three main types of varieties of eastern redbuds. The three names are Texanus, Mexicana, and hybrids. The height of an eastern redbud can be as tall as 20 to 30 feet and a spread of 25 to 30 feet.
So friends, what we wanted to share with you today, and I feel like our 4th and 5th grade student council did an exceptional job. And in fact, I'm going to invite you all to come up on the stage. So why don't you come on up right now? Because they really put forth so much time and effort during their time, during their recess, to focus on the illustrations. Can I just get a hands up for 4th grade student council? Hands up if you did an illustration. Oh yeah. Can you stand up? Because in all honesty, we want to give you the recognition too. So this is the beauty about student council, how you go above and beyond for the school and our environment. This is a perfect example. And this is all the hard work and the students that were behind this wonderful presentation. So collectively, and you guys can still, actually we can have you guys sit now, thank you, is we wanted to say one thing.
Happy Arbor Day, DeMello School!
So friends, what we wanted to say is that trees and plants, we need to treat our plants and trees with love and care and to nurture the environment that we have. It is so important that we take care of our environment because that's where our clean air comes from. That's where our animals live, our insects, our vegetables, our plants. It is so important that we take care of our environment. If you see trash, what should we do? Pick it up and throw it away, even if it isn't ours. It's so important. So I really do want to thank 4th and 5th grade student council. I want to thank Mrs. Baker, Mrs. Markey, Mrs. Aguirre, and Mrs. Colbeck, because they really did put together a wonderful, they assisted in this. So it was a lot of time and effort. And here's what I wanted to say about our 1st and 3rd graders. Think about this. Think about the great things that our student council members do. And think about this as you get older. And 3rd grade, looking at you, this could very well be you next year, okay? So that's what we wanted you really to think about. But we certainly hope that you enjoyed this presentation. You learned something new. I certainly learned a lot about the trees that 5th grade had researched. I loved listening to the poems that our 4th grade student council came up with. I loved looking at the illustrations that our other 4th grade student councils had put together. So overall, Wonderful job. Can we give a round of applause to everybody here? Really good. Great job.